Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. In this example here, we will be using integration by parts using the known rule for cosine and sine. So in this function here, we know that we need to use the integration by parts because we have the integral of integral of x times cosine of pi of x dx. Okay, so identify our u and dv. So again, let u be the function that is easier to take the derivative. So in this case, u is going to equal to x, and dv will be the remainder of the original function. So dv will be cosine pi of x dx. Next, take the derivative of u is equal to x, so that will give us du is equal to dx. And then next, take the antiderivative of this dv function, and it's possible to use the u substitution method within this side work, but that's going to take a long time. So I'm actually going to show you a known rule for cosine and sine as a shortcut to help you find v. So here is the known rule. So the known rule for cosine and sine states that if you take the integral of sine of some constant, we'll call that k, sine of k of x. So we know that the integral of a sine function is negative cosine. This time is cosine of k of x. And we're going to include a new constant, so that is going to be 1 over k. Okay, and then next, if we take the integral of cosine k of x, so again, the integral of cosine is positive sine. In this case, that's sine of k of x, sine of k times x. And our new constant is going to be 1 over k. Okay, so we'll draw a bubble around this if you want to keep this known rule in mind for your future use. So when taking the integral of this dv function, so the integral of cosine pi times x is going to equal to 1 over pi times sine of pi times x. Okay, so now we have what we need to plug in into our formula. So going back to my main work, I'm going to multiply u by v. So that would be x over pi. I'm going to stick with red. So x over pi times sine of pi times x minus, okay, and the integral of v times du. Okay, so you'll multiply these two. I'm going to go ahead and take out the constant to the front of the integral symbol. So that's going to be 1 over pi times the integral of sine of pi times x. Okay, so the first term stays the same. Okay, and then now for the second term, deal with finding the integral of sine of pi times x. So again, we can use this known rule here as a shortcut. So based on this rule, we know that the integral of sine of pi times x is going to equal to negative 1 over pi times cosine of pi times x. Okay, and we just need one more step to help us further simplify this problem. So again, the first step stays the same, or excuse me, the first term stays the same. And then multiply these two terms. So negative 1 over pi times negative 1 over pi. So remember that negative and negative become a positive. So change these two into plus signs. So now we have for our second term plus 1 over pi square times cosine of pi x. And then don't forget to end your answer with a plus c because we are dealing with an indefinite integral. So this right here is our answer to this example of using integration by parts. And that's it. Be sure to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments for any more math help. So I hope you all have a great day.